Good afternoon. My name is John Nelson. I'm the Director of Public Works and Facilities for the town of Bourne. And we're here today to talk about single-stream recycling in Bourne. With me is my co-host, George Sala. George, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm the Superintendent of the Department of Public Works and run the operation of curbside collection.
So we're here today to discuss the single-stream project that the Public Works Department, along with the Integrated Solid Waste Department, or ISWM, will be rolling out this summer. I'll let George kind of give us a little background on what the project entails.
Well, I think our mission is to provide a safer work environment for our workers and a more efficient way of picking up curbside pickup. By going single stream, we will it will be a much more efficient operation on that part. What we're going to do is try to increase our recycling rates. Presently, right now, we're about 15% on curbside recycling, and we're hoping that this will increase the recycling rate. The other thing is to reduce the amount of trash that's going into the airspace in the landfill now, and I think this operation will help that.
So one of the big things the project will entail is we're going to give all our residents two 96-gallon carts, one for trash and one for recycling. The program will limit what the residents can place at the curbside. What we will be able, the carts, everything has to fit in the carts. All the recycling has to fit in the carts, including cardboard, and trash will be limited to one 96-gallon cart per household. I think that's two of the major changes, but as George pointed out, we're trying to increase our recycling rate. Right now, it's kind of an abysmal 15% at the curbside. And other municipalities and cities and towns in Massachusetts that have implemented a cart-side program have seen a 100% or greater increase in their curbside rates. That's what we're trying to obtain. We're trying to get up to the 30% level. We're also trying to reduce our workplace injuries. As George alluded to, curbside trash pickup is one of the has a large injury rate, high injury rate, and the town of Bourne's no different. Our guys have been on the back of the trucks for years. They work rain, sleet, or snow, and implementing this program with carts that will be picked up by the trucks will be retrofitted to pick up these carts is a huge benefit to our workplace injury rate. So George, why don't you talk about some of the changes in service? How is this new program going to impact how we currently do things?
Well, I think the biggest change is going to be the fact that the residents are going to have to adapt to the new policies and which we'll get into a little bit later, in the changes. Changes is always tough for everybody. Whereas right now, if you notice around town, you'll see that there's some of these stops that have 5-6 barrels out there at one time. And as you alluded to earlier, that we're going to be going to one 96-gallon tote wheel cart, and there won't be that type of a large trash at curbside. Everything will fit into the barrels. That would be one thing. The other thing is that presently we are picking up, and this has been for years and years, we do have a few condominiums that have been in pickup since we first started recycling, and that was part of a grant that we received years ago. That will be eliminated. We will not be picking up recyclables at the condominiums. Anything 4 units or less, we will not pick up.
We will be included. Anything 4 units or less, we will include, right? Residential properties, yeah. Right?
And like I said, the biggest thing is the change.
The change in what we can place at the curbside, correct?
That is correct.
That's
yep.
the big thing. So, I mean, some of the things that we've talked to a lot of municipalities about this. We've talked to a lot of We've talked to the DEP. We've talked to a lot of people that have been successful with single stream recycling in the past and a cart-based curbside program. And one of the things that's important for the residents to understand in this town is that iSwim is going to provide is providing the funding behind our curbside operations. They've done that for years. They're also providing the funding which was approved at a winter town meeting, to purchase all the carts, to purchase the retrofits for our trucks, and we have a huge benefit in iSwim with being with the town. You know, having that landfill in the town and having the operations that take place up there. It's much more than just a landfill. I'm sure Phil Goddard, who's our executive producer on this show, would probably kill me if I said it was just a landfill, but which it's not. It's a lot more. But the residents, I know residents are going to get concerned about being limited to what they can place at the curbside, and I want everybody at home to know. Everybody knows we have a residential drop-off center. We'll still take anything that you can't place at the curbside. You'll be able to bring to the drop-off center. Nothing has changed for the drop-off center. We might have new locations to put things, or we might ask people to commingle different streams into one thing, but everything is still going to be the same up at the drop-off center. You know, George and I, when we were talking about on the way over here for this segment, we were talking about different things that people can, or you know, that we see all the time. So why don't you tell them about that? Some of the you know, people who put chairs and dining room sets and everything else to be out at the curb to be picked up. Why don't you?
Right. Well, over the years, I mean, you got anything ranging from brush to leaves to little bulky items that they actually do accept in the recycling center and the landfill. People are putting them out at curbs. We have over the years tried to accommodate the best we could, but with this new operations, we're not going to be able to do that. Everything's going to have to be fit right inside that container.
Well, let's segue into the policy. So what we've been working on a policy over the last few months. And let's just hit some of the highlights. So this program is only include residential properties, legal residential properties that are recorded with the assessor's office that include 4 or fewer units. The 2 carts, each residence will receive 2 96-gallon carts, 1 for recycling, 1 for trash. The trash cart is only for for residential waste. Non-bulky residential waste. It's pretty much all the same stuff that you put in your trash now. The major goal of the program is to increase what we can put in the recycling waste stream, in the recycling carts. George and I will see this routinely, that a lot of, as George said earlier, there's households that will put out a lot of trash, a lot of real bulky items. So the goal of this program is to start thinking, what can I put in my recycling? What can I take out of my trash stream and put in my recycling waste stream? And we'll get to what you can put in your recycling waste stream in a minute. George said that we've always accommodated the residents, which we'll continue to do. But we are going to be tracking violations, repeat offenders that create issues for our guys at the curbside that don't follow the policy guidelines. We've put together a program that says any 3 or more violations in a 30-day period will result in a loss of curbside pickup, and we'll report the residents to the Board of Health. It's really important that everybody makes an effort to comply with the policy and comply with the new operations. So, we want everybody to be in the same level. We've talked about possibly looking into other changes in the future, and we'll do that. We'll reassess this program after we roll it out. But some of the big things are, is really trying to fit all the trash in that 96-gallon cart. I think is going to be a challenge for some households. While we will have those violations, we are going to allow a grace period. So this project, all carts will be delivered to residents by August 1st.
they'll roll out.
The rollout, yeah.
July 1st.
Yeah, the rollout. So the rollout of the program, everybody's going to start receiving carts from probably shortly after July 1st. Between July 1st and August 1st, everybody will get their carts. You can start using the carts right away. As soon as you receive them, we expect you to start using the carts. And then we will, as of August 1st, we're going to start tracking violations of the policy. At first, we'll just give gentle reminders. We're going to give a 90 or till we're going to give a short grace period until Veterans Day. It's Veterans Day. And after that, then we'll start really notifying residents of violations and different.
I think as far as one of the violations that one of the problems that we do have, especially during the summer months where you have the summer residents that are coming back and they leave on a Sunday, put their trash out there, and their pickup isn't until a Thursday. So in the meantime, what happens is between all the seagulls and the birds and animals, now you have trash all over the place. Yeah. One of the policies, rules that we will have in effect is that 5 p.m. the night before pickup, you cannot put it out before 5 p.m. And
it has to be out by 7 a.m.
Yes,
that's a big.
It has to be out by 7 a.m. Right now, we do have collection right now, and I think one of the biggest things that we find even in today's operation is that trash is supposed to be at curbside by 7 a.m. And what's happened is sometimes residents get used to, I not picked up till 10 o'clock because of the trucks out there. But the problem that we have is there's some days that we put out extra trucks, and the truck may be there earlier. And
that's a good point.
So what's happened? So what happens is right now, the trash truck has already gone by, or the recycling truck has already gone by, and next thing you know, that they call the DPW and say, well, my trash was missed, or I put it out late. But we're not going to be able to do return visits once this starts, because we're going to be on one of the changes to the this program is we're going to have routes that are already going to be laid out for us, and efficiency.
Yeah, one of the main goals is to make the program as efficient as possible.
Right.
We're trying to squeeze, we want to be able to time how long it takes our guys at each stop, so we can put together an accurate route to, so we can plan the days. We might, at the end of the project, a few months into the project, we might end up doing some route analysis to maybe redo our routes in town. So.
But even right now, what it is they, if their trash is missed or they put it out late, they're more than welcome to go to the landfill.
Right. Right. We always have ice swim. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Go up to the landfill, to the recycling area, so they should not have any problems with that.
So why don't we talk about some of the what our recycling program will include? I believe Phil has a fancy slide to hold up here, but the program, you guys, as we are now, everybody, or some people are still separating the recyclables into certain categories. Why don't you talk about the new?
Well, right now, it's true, and once again, it's talking about changes. We've had now for the last 3 months that we decided back then we didn't have to separate anymore, and some people still are separating. They're used to doing it for all these years. So now, what we do is part of single stream is everything will go into one barrel.
I think that's important to note, because I've gotten a lot of questions on that, believe it or not. So the whole goal of single stream is to include all of your recyclables into one container.
One container, yeah.
So that's your newspapers, your
cardboard,
magazines, cardboard, chipboard,
plastics, tins.
Everything's going to go into one container now. And I think that's important. I really want the residents at home to understand that, is that we're trying to roll this out now, so in little increments. So right now you don't have to separate.
No, and I think you and I, and we've already went before the Board of Selectmen, And we actually brought that up during that we, residents do not have to separate
Right.
right now. But like I said, it's them trying to get used to it.
Yeah.
And this is what's going to happen, and that's why we give a grace period to Veterans Day. I mean, like I said, and sooner or later it's going to be the same way in the landfill, from what I understand. That when you go to the recycling area in the landfill, they're looking at having everything put into one area too.
Yeah, I think Phil, they're still figuring that out. I think some things are still going to be separated. But
Okay.
let's talk about some of the things that we do not want in the recycling waste stream.
Styrofoam.
Styrofoam is one.
Yeah.
Plastic bags or plastic film, any type of saran wrap or thin plastic bags.
Those
or,
bags you get, yeah.
Yeah, that can cause issues because now the single stream process, we're going to take all the recyclables to the curbside. We're going to dump it at our single stream transfer station at ISWIM, and we end up transferring that up to a sorting facility.
Right.
They have large conveyors and sorting machines where the waste stream is sorted into, it's sorted for the residents basically. And plastic bag, all this stuff can kind of affect that process.
Correct.
And so plastic bags and film, K-cups or any type of coffee pods. I know that's a big thing that people think that the major the way that the single stream waste stream gets contaminated is by a lot of people wanting to do the right thing. So a lot of people will take those K-cups out of their K-cup brewer, and they'll say, "Oh, this is a plastic. I can recycle this." But no, it's got the coffee grinds in it. It has we do not want that in our recycling stream. And I think it's important to any type of products that are food soiled, any type of heavy food soil we don't want in the recycling stream. There's certain products, and what will happen is we'll have an InMold label, as well as a bunch of other documentation we'll be sending out to residents starting next month in June. But there'll be an InMold label on the recycling carts that will be a nice quick guide that will show you exactly what can and can't go in the recycling stream.
They'll be put right on the top.
Right on the top, yeah, they're built right on the top. Nice color pictographs that show you exactly what to use.
Yep.
So,
I think the other thing that we're having, and this is a good thing that we're changing, is we are finding a lot of syringes inside the plastic.
Yeah.
Sometimes into the recycling, people are throwing syringes in it, and that is a danger to the guys.
Right. Right. I think there's a nice graphic. I think we have a nice graphic that shows some of the hazards to our guys that actually pick up trash and recycling. We have some that issue. From lifting injuries to puncture
Slipping.
injuries to you name it, it's happened.
Back
Slip and
injuries,
falls.
yeah.
Yep. Getting off the truck, getting on the truck. So that segues right into our new equipment. So let's talk about some of the equipment updates. Why don't you talk about start with the new trucks? Because I think people are seeing these out there now. I think they could be good to talk about them.
Well, I think right now we have rolled out the 2 new trucks. They're 35 yarders. They're the big yellow, big bright yellow trucks. These trucks are much more safer. The guys are no longer on the back of the trucks holding on.
Huge. Yeah.
There's one of the biggest thing is it went from three employees down to 2 employees, the driver and the co-driver on this, because you can drive from either side of these trucks. So some days there may be 2 drivers going out and they both swap off, but they're not stepping down 2 feet off the back. They're actually stepping 7 inches out of the door and into the street. And actually, right now, they're dumping into the hopper that's on the side of the truck, and the hopper dumps into the back into the belly of the top of the truck. So it's a much safer operation. It is. The other thing is that our old trash trucks are actually, one of them right now is being already out being retrofitted. And when I say retrofitted, we're having the cot tilts put onto the rear of the truck. So when we go to do recycling or trash, these carts can be dumped the same way that the new trucks are dumping in the back. And hopefully within next 2 years, that we are going to put in for a couple two new trucks.
Yeah, that's important. That's important because I think I don't want people. You know, the new trucks that we received, they were normal replacements.
Correct.
You know, our some of our trash trucks are. You'll see them on the side of the road. They're rusty. They've been they're at their end of life, and it's important to note that we are going to be probably requesting through the Capital Outlay Committee additional new side pack trucks to keep, you know, trying to outfit our fleet to the newest and safest technology.
And the good thing about it is, well, when you say rusty and stuff, the trucks have had to be kept outside. When the DPW was located at ISWIM in our old location in the landfill. Now that we're in the new location, the new building, the trucks are kept inside now. So and that's a major plus for our equipment. That everything now we try to do is keep it inside.
And part of this program will include rolling out single stream to all our municipal buildings.
Yeah.
And some of our old rear packer trucks will be retrofitted to include
Cable.
the dumpster hook.
Yep.
So we can pick up some small 2 or 3 yard dumpsters that we'll end up putting at all of our town buildings, because we still have some town buildings that have an outside dumpster service.
Right, we outsource it right now because we're not equipped to dump them.
To handle that. Yep.
Some of the problems that we are seeing now with the new trucks are are some of these roads. The town of Bourne is made up of 50-50 on private roads and town roads in town. And I think what's happening is we're having some issues right now that's on these private roads. Some of these trees need to be trimmed back. Come June, hopefully by the end of June, we will be doing Public Works Department will be going out inspecting all these private roads, and we are going to do a determination on and send the homeowners a notification that, you know, this needs to be brushed back, or if the roads are deteriorating, the asphalt, or the dirt roads.
And it's not just for these conditions on a lot of these roads. It doesn't just impact curbside trash and recycling.
No,
it also impacts.
It impacts the whole
DPW
operations, and not only just the DPW operations. It impacts
Emergency
outside agencies also.
Yep.
Other residents coming to visit other residents. Fire apparatus, fire trucks, police. We have a few roads right now that are in deplorable condition that, and you can't blame the residents because some of them don't even know they live on a private road.
Right.
Right.
Yep,
and that is a big thing.
Yep.
So I know that this past town meeting we had a betterment brought in, and that's a whole nother show that we can do later on down the road. But for right now, I just wanted to, if you live on a private road and your trees need to be trimmed or something, we're going to have to look at it so we don't damage our equipment. These trucks are a little higher than our last ones. I mean, right now, we can't fit underneath the bridge by Kingman Marina.
Right.
So that does make, you know, difference. So we will be discussing that come June, and maybe we'll do another segment just on private roads.
I think it's important to note, though, too, one of the reasons we went with the larger pack body trucks was for the 35 cubic yard
compared to 25.
Was because we did have that change in location. You guys were originally at ISWIM. We wanted to go over the bridge as few a time as possible. So now we are on the Buster's Bay side. Right. So that helps our overall operation a lot, having those big trucks.
It does, and what we are finding now is where we are getting, before we were packing out at 13 ton per vehicle, and at one full rack, and then they have to go dump. So these trash trucks, the old ones, were going out and dumping at noontime and then coming back out and finishing their routes. Whereas the new trucks right now, we don't have to dump them. We can last the whole day because they got automatic packers.
Which is a huge savings, huge time savings. Well, I think we're pretty much ready to wrap up here. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No,
I want to plug our website, which we've been working on diligently.
Right, and the other thing is, you can check with the Department of Public Works website. We are going to be putting stuff on our website in regards to.
Well, we've got our nice Recycling in Bourne website. So if you need to find information, go to townofbourne.com, the town's website, or you can go to ISWIM's website or DPW's website, and there'll be links on there linking you to the Recycling in Bourne website, which is Phil Goddard's been kind of managing that along with the recycling committee. And those are a group of people I would love to thank today. They've really helped us out with this project. The recycling committee has done a fabulous job really getting involved in the issues behind recycling and trying to help us come up with the best way to serve the residents of Bourne. And I think they're an asset to this town.
Oh, I agree with you. I mean, Dan, Asa, Phil.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all worked on this very well together. And the other thing is, you got to thank the selectmen for their support.
The selectmen and the residents.
And the residents and Tom.
Yep.
There's a lot of work behind this operation of rolling this single stream out. So, I mean, there are a lot of people to thank, and
maybe the next time we'll have some of those people on with us, such as Phil Goddard. Maybe we'll get him out. Maybe we'll get him on this.
Sure.
I'm sure the people would love to hear him speak,
especially
right?
Dan.
Right. Yeah, Dan would be good. Dan would be really good.
But
so that will be an invitation. Well, I'll note that. We'll have to pull up another chair for Mr. Barrett next time.
Yeah, don't have.
But I think there is one takeaway that I wanted to bring up. There's one thing I want the residents to know. We are rolling out the 96-gallon carts. We have heard some people are concerned with the size of those carts, and we want everybody to understand. We researched this project. Other communities have rolled out these carts without any problems. Communities that have actually had smaller size carts rolled out, they've actually taken them back and given out larger carts because they've run into problems. So, as always, once we're rolling this project out, please, if there is an issue that comes up, please contact the Department of Public Works. It's the regular town phone number, 508-759-0600. It's extension 3 once you get to the main menu. Contact them if you have any issues once you get the carts, but we are going to roll it out with 96-gallon carts to every household. So with that, I would like to thank Mr. Sala for coming in today to do this with me. I'd like to thank Phil and Bourne Community TV for allowing us to use the studio.